Big question of the week. The flights are back in the air from Wednesday of next week, but is anybody booking?
Until people are comfortable and confident to travel, and nothing really moved on for us. So, and I think, until the government travel advice changes, until the quarantine is lifted, I think, nothing is really going to change in the travel industry until those two things are gone.
The only thing that will really change it is compelling anecdotal feedback from people, the early adopters, as it were, who do elect to travel out early and report back, to friends, relatives, colleagues.
Go through the whole airport check-in process, the onboard process, the transfer at the far side. What's it going to be like at the pool? What's it going to be like at the beach? That if we have real life first-hand experience that we can bring back to our customers and say, well, we were there last week, or some of our team were there last week or last month, and this is what it's actually like. I think that will be hugely important.
We're certainly getting bookings in, not to any great degree. We're getting a couple a week, but they are for very much later on during the year.
People believe it though, you see. They say, oh, Michael O'Leary says that there's a flurry of bookings, but most of them are not in Ireland. They're probably in some other godforsaken place where they can't wait to get out.
For August, September, July, maybe not, but August, September, they're still hoping to travel, very much hoping to travel. We have had a little flurry last week of cruise bookings, which is great.
And these are people who will probably have apartments down in Portugal or Spain, wondering if the flights are actually going to take place, and should I book that, because a lot of those people don't necessarily, the quarantine rule doesn't necessarily hinder them when they come back.
They're not giving agents very much advance notice as to what arrangements are in place, either in terms of forward flights been cancelled or continuing to operate as per schedule, which for understandable reasons is causing big difficulties for agents trying to advise their clients accordingly.
Terms and conditions have been published for the credit note negotiated by the ITAA.
To 9 months. That means clients can redeem cash at the end of that period if they have not used the credit note. It is subject to EU approval because in theory EU 261 and the Package Holiday Directive still apply.
From our own office, the girls are using it and public are saying, okay, fine, look, we understand your situation. We know that our money is now safe. Can you please get it for us as quickly as possible? But very few people breaking down the door at the minute to get their refund.
So if customers come to us and who are looking for the refund, if we have got it back, we were issuing that refund and cash refund straight away.
You just have to keep in touch with the suppliers, in touch with the trade media like yourselves, so that you know exactly what's happening, and indeed keep in touch with other agents, because some people have insights in the way that they achieved results, say for example with some of the airlines.
Some carriers don't seem to be processing the refunds in chronological sequence, which you would expect. That doesn't seem to be happening.
From the airlines, we need them to speed up the whole refund process. The EU regulations and Package Travel Directive say, you're entitled to your money in a relatively short window of time, and it's very difficult to explain that to somebody who's getting cross about the length of time that it had to wait.
Refund credit note is great. It's really, really great. I mean, and it gives the customer confidence that, God forbid, if we go out of business, then once we've issued the credit note to them, they know that money is guaranteed. But that's fine for money that we know is coming. But that doesn't solve the problem whereby the supplier says, no, our service is operating, so therefore there is no refund. That's the real problem.
We really have to look at who we do business with in the future, because quite definitely there will be agents, as they are in the UK, who have made decisions as consortia, as groups, not to deal with certain suppliers because they didn't feel that the suppliers supported them during this process.
We're facing a very serious situation from here on in, where we're caught in that bind between the supplier operating the service and the client being told by the government, you are entitled to cancel and you're entitled to a refund. Where does that leave the travel agent who doesn't have the money? In that we've given the money to the supplier, as we were supposed to do.
It's been a very long time coming, but is this the time that travel agents should introduce service fees? Start charging for those services that they are providing free of charge.
We can't get refunds and we can't get changes done. They start charging for these changes. That's going to present a huge problem. So I think that's where we need to look at, is getting something in place that we get more flexibility.
All of our time is too valuable now. And look at the pressure that all of us have been put under in the last 3 or 4 months since this evolved, and all the responsibility that little old travel agents all around the country are carrying. You know, it's unbelievable, the amount of pressure that we have been put under. And we're responsible for everything.
Agents had not enough to worry about problems with the merchant services providers.
A list of demands for data, which amounted really to a forensic trawl of our business, a really in-depth, deep forensic trawl of our business.
Certain draconian terms and conditions that, well, one particular credit card acquirer had applied in 2 instances, and again we thought there was going to be an avalanche, a kind of a copycat situation develop amongst their competitors.
Even a questionnaire, one of the questions on which was, what percentage of your clients go to Spain? You know, my immediate reaction was, like it was 2 years ago, it's none of your business. Most of this is none of your business. They wanted latest accounts, they wanted bank statements, they wanted bookings received, amounts received for bookings we have, amounts paid out against those deposits, an order book going forward for all of the bookings we have, and when is all those balances due. Very intrusive stuff, particularly for an agent, a small agent like us, who wouldn't have systems that can spit out those kind of reports. Message to say, where's the information? I said, well, we haven't opened, so we can't give you the information. Well, then, so almost as an aside, as they were closing the email, they said, well, then the block will remain in place. And it took me a week for them to get them to confirm to me that they had actually frozen our account.
A shared problem across several industries, business disruption insurance, and does it apply?
We've had evidence of agents who were initially refused cover under the travel disruption, or rather the business interruption cover, who have pursued it and seem to have gotten a bit of traction. And I've also been privy to conversations among some agents who are considering going down the legal route.
And another important resumption date. TUI are returning on July the 19th, back in the package holiday business.
The airlines get their finger out, provide some degree of certainty and clarity to the agents who are, after all, are doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of keeping the public at large informed as to what is or isn't happening.
So we've done everything that we were supposed to do. We took the money from the client, we passed it on to the supplier in good faith. So we're left out to dry, and that has to be addressed. Otherwise, the industry is in ruins, I think.
My name is Eoghan Corry. Travelwrap is commissioned by the Irish Travel Agents Association. The views here are my own.
What do we like? I don't know. Every travel agent in Ireland has been working for nothing, for no money, since we closed the door. And nothing is easy. We have to love it, otherwise we wouldn't do it.